I like to introduce the colors I used for this exercise. Michael Harding's Ivory Black is an excellent black, especially when mixed with titanium white, as it produces subtle bluish gray tones. Mussini's Raw Umber, a brand renowned for the quality of its oil paints, is composed primarily of natural iron oxides. This particular shade is obtained by grinding natural earths and contain high levels of iron oxides, manganese, and clay. This color is fantastic when you do a skin tone, shadow, also if you paint in monochrome, and finally it's helpful if you want to use it to desaturate other colors. Sap green is a color with historical roots dating back to the Middle Ages. I have to say the truth, even though it is made with a chemical process, it is really good, and I worked with this color for many years and I didn't have any issue. Michael Harding produces alizarin crimsons using the synthetic pigment, as is the case with most modern alizarins. In my point of view, I don't use too much. I use it just when I'm glazing and when I want to emphasize the warm color inside of the shadow. I prepared personally this color using red oxide and a iron oxide. First of all, it's important to understand what an oxide is. When iron is exposed to atmospheric elements, it oxidizes and turns into rust, which takes on a brick red color. This is the final stage of oxidation. Beyond this point, iron cannot transform into anything else. This is why oxides are among the most stable pigments in the world. If you manage to achieve a nice skin tone using just this red, you can be confident that even after many years the color will remain unchanged. Cadmium Red Light by Michael Harding is an inorganic pigment. This color is highly valued by artists for its excellent coverage, consistency, permanence, and light fastness, maintaining its vibrancy over time. Yellow ochre is a natural pigment for skin tones, landscape, and still life. It is excellent. Mussini's Titanium White. Despite its name, titanium white does not contain metallic titanium, but is primarily an oxide. It is produced through a chemical process and is not toxic as a pigment. In conclusion, as you have seen, I don't use just one brand of paint, but combine those from Michael Harding and Mussini. Both brands produce excellent colors. I know this information may seem a bit of tedious, but it is important to be aware of it. Everything I told you, you must use as a starting point and continue to experiment different brands of colors until you get those are suitable for you. I'm not a chemistry expert, but I have studied the basics necessary to understand why it's important to choose one color over another. I want my works to stand the test of time, but unfortunately, I often see students using low-quality paints to save money. After just 2 weeks, the colors they have used can start to change, darkening or yellowing. I've made many mistakes myself. For example, there was a period when I used too much cobalt dryer. Cobalt contains lead, and lead tends to yellow over time. Within a couple of years, I found many of my paintings covered in a yellowish halo. Fortunately, I found a remedy, the same one Rembrandt used. If you notice that your painting has yellow, you can place it under a fixed light for 3 days. The light will help diminish the yellowing caused by the lead or resins. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. I have published the full version of this video, about 15 minutes long, where I delve deeply into the advantages and disadvantages of using one color over another, including their chemistry, on my Patreon page. If you find this content interesting, why not subscribe? I'll leave you the link below. Okay, we are at the end of the lesson. I'm really happy that you still until the end, and I hope to see you soon at the next video lesson.